Oh, man. I was holding myself.
Welcome, Commissioner Pago.
Hello. You just worked absolutely perfectly.
Right on time.
All right, are we ready?
One second.
Maybe.
1 second, okay.
See, we still got to win.
Okay, Commissioner.
All set? Okay. I call to order the Muskegon County Courts and Public Safety Committee meeting for May 10th, 2022. It's 3:34 p.m. We have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Brown.
Here.
Commissioner Seer.
Here.
Commissioner Hovey Wright.
Here.
Commissioner Hughes.
Here.
Commissioner Leering.
Here.
Commissioner Nash.
Here.
Chairman Skolnick.
Here.
Commissioner Wilkins.
Yeah.
Commissioner Pago.
Present. I'll entertain an approval of the minutes
So moved.
for the April 12th, 2022 meeting. I have a motion from Commissioner Wright.
Support.
There's support from Commissioner Hughes. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the minutes of April 12th? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, none that passes. I'll entertain an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
A motion support from Commissioner Hughes and Commissioner Brown. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Aye. At this time, we have set aside public comment. If anyone from the public wishes to make a public comment, you have 2 minutes. You need to state your name and your location. I don't see anybody online. Is there any
There's no
public
one.
comment here? Did you fill out a form, ma'am? Can you fill out a form and come forward? Oh, right, you're a director, but you can make a public comment.
I hope.
Julie Rupp, Director of Health West. I did ask the sheriff, do I need to fill out a form? He told me no, so.
You're fine.
Well, you know.
I didn't recognize you at first.
That's
Sorry.
okay. I'm here today to urge your support of the motion number 28 dealing with the increased officers that the sheriff is requesting. Having been in the Health West been in the jail prior, doing jail services, medical services, and continuing for now and many years prior doing behavioral health services, I can tell you they need additional correctional officers in order to secure the safety and make sure that the patients there get good quality care. So I urge your support on that motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Rupp. Is there any other public comment?
I'm Dr. Tammy Pravadas. I'm the medical director of the Muskegon County Jail through Vital Corps. And I also support this motion to offer more deputies to help us out in the jail. The reason I support it is that on any given 24-hour day, the medical staff performs about 330 individual tasks directly with inmates, anywhere from doing withdrawal checks to passing medications to doing a screening for every booking, to doing physical exams on every inmate, to physician visits, and every single one of those requires an officer to be present. And we run into issues of being short-staffed and not having availability to the inmates to perform those tasks because they're busy doing other things. And that's just a bare minimum of what we would like to accomplish on a daily basis to prevent any further critical incidents happening in the jail. And so I support it because we could use the dedicated officer to medical to assist us with our tasks. And
Sorry.
I am available for questions.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Sheriff?
Good afternoon, everybody. Michael Coolin, County Sheriff. Just in reference to the agenda number, which is 29 for additional staff. I made sure, I hope everybody had an opportunity to take a look at the packet that was handed out. We did not really get enough time during the motion review to go through everything. So if there are any questions or anything further on that, please feel free to reach out to me. On this motion, what I'm asking for here is if we can, maybe, I want to say take a little break. We are in a critical time right now with staffing levels at the Sheriff's Office, even though we are 100% staffed. We have people waiting to be employed. The numbers that we have on the staff studies that have been provided, our facility really has changed over the last 4 years for the types of people that we are now servicing inside the jail. It was just this past month I asked Community Mental Health to Health West to give me the number of individuals that we are treating right now, and it's 80% of our patients of Health West right now, and others are medical. We've gone from a correctional facility that houses individuals waiting for trial or sentenced to a treatment center for individuals waiting, and my staff is not equipped to handle with that, especially with the numbers that we have. I don't know if it's possible because you are going to be receiving actually 4 motions today requesting the same funding for different programs. And obviously there's not enough money for that. Hopefully we could have some more conversation. We're doing this now because the money was just basically brought to our attention of what was collected the last year, first part of April. And so here we are today. But this is not a perfect time because the money is available. It's a perfect time because we can get staff and get them trained right now as our numbers continue to increase inside the jail itself. But even up to include maybe holding off and having a work session so we all can collectively work together and have a conversation, and all the stakeholders that will be involved in this can participate. So thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
It's public comment.
Would I be
You can make a public comment.
from here, or do I have to go over
You
there?
should probably go over there. It's not your commissioner position. Thank you.
Commissioner Laring, Urbana Township. I'm disappointed that we have 2 directors that are competing for funds. And my thought is that that they can't go back in, there is only limited funds and they need to settle this issue themselves and come back with one motion, either that or this funding mechanism, which is the marijuana money, go back and the county commission can split the baby and don't give it to either one of them, just dump it in our general fund so we can do what we want with it or use it for these good purposes. They can come back and come to an agreement where we are only spending the funds provided through this service.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Good afternoon, Gregory Pippin, Chief Judge, 14th Circuit Court, and the 61st Probate Court. I caught the last of what Sheriff Pullman proposed to this board, to this body, and I do think that's a reasonable thought that at the very least, maybe a bit of a work session might be in order to get a full global view of what is being discussed and considered here in these requests. I say that from the perspective of I don't have an endorsement one way or the other, and that wouldn't be my place to do that anyway. But our criminal justice system and the law enforcement that goes with that is these are not silos. These are this is a continuum, and all along that continuum, issues of capacity, personnel, policy, requirements that are either promulgated from that particular part of that continuum or that are handed down to us affect all of us in some way, somewhere along the line of that continuum. And I certainly appreciate that each of us has to be responsible for our own budgets and our own operations, but it does not simply end there. There's a global picture that maybe a bit of a work session might be of some value to you folks as you make these very, very difficult decisions about what to do with the incredibly limited funds that are available to try to provide the service to the citizens of this community.
Thank you, Your Honor. Any other public comment? It's not question and answer, but you can make a public comment if you'd like, down there. It's not question and answer. Do you have anything further, Judge?
No, I was going to answer a question.
It's
that
not
you
question
had.
and answer, it's public
I heard
comment.
you.
Thank
I heard
you.
all 3 times.
Perfect, thank you. Do you want to make a public comment, Commissioner Hovey-Wright?
Well, I just wondered from Judge Pittman.
Can you set the timer for 2 minutes for her public comment? It is not question and answer.
Right here.
It's not question and answer.
What would be the advantage of having a work session over what Commissioner Laren suggested?
I think that.
Thank you
there's
for your public,
probably-
I'm closing public comment. We're going to move forward.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have
I
items for
apologize.
consideration is CPS 22/05-18. Prosecutor DJ Hilson moving to authorize the prosecutor to fund and fill senior assistant prosecutor position X75009 non-bargaining at pay table grade NX-00433 to create and fill one digital media discovery coordinator position non-bargaining at pay table grade NO-00212 and to add and fill one prosecutor legal specialist position bargaining at pay table grade GU-00215 and adjust the budget accordingly.
So moved.
I have a motion support from Commissioner Hughes and Commissioner Brown. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? Commissioner Hovey-Wright, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's premature to consider any of these prior to either doing what Zach Laring suggested and having them work it out, or doing what Pittman suggested and do a work session. We can't vote yes or no, we can't fund them all. And it just so happens that Hilson is first.
I agree. That's why I opposed the agenda.
Oh.
We could have made amendments to the agenda, but nobody moved to do so. And I can't make motions as the chair.
Okay.
Any other?
Well, I don't know, I guess
Commissioner
move to table, would that be appropriate? Or to postpone until we can have a work session? I'm open.
Commissioner Laring, you were next.
So thank you, Marcia. It's not often you and I can come together.
Yeah, I know.
But the problem with, Commissioner Pago, you're right, we should have amended it during the agenda. We can't, if we amend one motion, then we're gonna have to do it to every single motion to table it.
18, 19, 20, and 28, looks like it was.
So there are some motions on here that are budgeted, that aren't particularly dealing with this, the marijuana funding mechanisms. So I don't know how the board at this point can mutually decide that without going through each one, but anyways, I would like to have, my vote would be that if they can't come together and say, all right, we have this dollars, these are, the prosecutor and the sheriff can agree to the maximum amount of spending, or let us decide through a work session. So my preference would be they go back and work this out themselves. I don't think it's fair that, not necessarily a fan of either party, but one party gets first on the agenda and then the money's gone, so we have to vote no for the others. So I think it's unfortunate.
Madam Chair, I'd like to withdraw my
Commissioner Seer,
motion.
do you want to withdraw your motion of supporting number 18?
Yes,
No, 19.
no,
And we're on 18.
we're on 18.
This is number 18 first, before 19.
Oh,
Oh, you're on the wrong agenda, Marcia.
okay.
Okay, so we have a situation, Commissioner Hughes had withdrawn her motion. We had a motion of support, but now we have a motion to withdraw. Mr. Homier, I'm going to refer to corporate counsel.
Well, I think the Commissioner Hughes just withdrew her motion, so I'm not sure you can vote on that. Was there support for that?
Yeah.
The support was from Commissioner Brown.
So once the motion is made in support and the,
Discussion ensued.
yeah, discussion ensued and the question delivered to the chair, then I think you have an obligation to vote on it. So unless you want to make a subsidiary motion to postpone, which would you then could do?
I have to do
Like-
that.
No, anyway,
Commissioner Seer, you were next.
I'd like to make a motion to postpone items 18, 19, 20, and 28
Support,
until,
30
not sure
days,
what the next meeting would be.
30 days?
Yeah, minimum 30 days.
Okay,
You're
well,
set.
let's call it 30 days and hopefully letting these two parties, as Mr. Leary said, try to work this out with the dollars. And then we'll see what they come back with and decide that.
Could you repeat the numbers?
Second.
18, 19, 20, and 28.
Give me one
28.
moment while I verify this, all the
Okay.
correct ones. We had a motion and a second from Commissioner Seer and Commissioner Marshall Hovey Wright already, but give me just one moment to double check these.
so that, sorry, would that be until 14th? I think
Is that the next meeting?
next full board meeting is,
Next.
Be the next, courts of public safety.
which would be,
Number 20 also consists of the same funding, just to, if you want to.
We had that in there.
Oh, I thought he said 18, 19, and 28. I thought he said
18, 19, 20, and 28.
20 and 28. Okay, that's what I thought I was
June
missing.
7th.
Which is the
Courts
next
and public
committee
safety
meeting for
is-
courts and public safety, correct?
It's not, courts and public safety.
June 7th.
The 12th.
The 12th.
That's
Well, you're June.
Oh,
June
June.
7th.
June 7th.
Talking that committee meeting for courts and public
Okay.
safety.
Okay, those four. I only heard 20. So we have a motion and a second from Commissioner Seer and Commissioner Hovey Wright to postpone 18, 19, 20, and 28 until June 7th to the next Courts and Public Safety meeting. Is there any comments, questions, or concerns? Commissioner Skolnick?
19 and 20 are salary range adjustments, which I'm not sure they should be.
There's more to it than just that, and it is dependent upon the marijuana funding if you read the full motion.
comes out the
Well,
same
not
time.
necessarily, because this is competitive, in my opinion, and I would have to hear from the prosecutor. These are competitive salary adjustments to help keep staff. This has nothing, I mean, this would happen with or without the marijuana money. There's no new positions created. I mean,
But we
I'm just
have to
making
have
a
funding
case
for it.
this. Because another one, listen, I'm not against this either, but there was another salary adjustment, I can't remember. For the
24.
ownership, and I'm not against it, but I mean, it's just like, we should do that. So I'm just throwing that out, if anybody agrees with me, that the salary adjustment should be done and not rolled into the marijuana,
It is though, it is written that way. Do you have anything further?
It's written in what way?
It is written,
That's how it's
it is
funded.
written dependent upon the marijuana funding. If you read the full motion, it is dependent upon marijuana, the marijuana tax funding that we're receiving. Did you have something, Commissioner Nash?
Yeah, I totally agree with Commissioner Skolnick. I think, we're making this all about this marijuana money, but we have to understand that right now in this county, in this state, and in this country, we're in a competition for employees. And we have people that are seeing some departments getting certain things and some departments being tabled. And it's making them think about going somewhere else. Well, and the big part about that, and I can tell you, I see it every day, even where I'm employed. The problem becomes so much so that people are considering moving around. And that costs us a lot of time and a lot of effort, because you get somebody that's fully trained in one area, then they move somewhere else and they got to get retrained, and that takes time. And then it causes a lot of issues and headaches as far as trying to get up to speed on things. And then you have someone that moves in new that has to be completely trained, brand new to the other position that they left. So we start making more headaches for ourselves, which causes a lot more, it causes the staff to, not have the enthusiasm about work as much. And then you lose people to other counties and somewhere else because they don't even want to deal with the chaos here. So I think we have to be careful not to make this about the prosecutor or the sheriff. And remember, this is about our employees, and it's a critical time to keep people. And it's a critical time to show people you care about them. And I agree with Commissioner Stolnik that this is more than just about where it's coming from, but a lot more about people we're trying to keep.
Commissioner Larry?
So I don't think this is necessarily, I mean, you've got pay raises in both departments that are asking for these, and I'm not, most of them are non-budgeted. The funding mechanism is a marijuana thing. We're not saying no to pay increases, but they got to come back as two different departments and come back and say, this is X number of dollars and this is how we want to spend it. And I'm not saying no to pay raises. We just, we wait a month and maybe that's what they'll decide to come back with. Otherwise, it's going to come out of the general fund, which we don't have a lot of excess with, so.
Commissioner Sear, did you have something?
No, I did not.
Commissioner Nash?
I'll respond to that to say, we have to look at what was said, because we originally started talking about there's too many positions and it's not enough money, so something's got to be cut. So we just sent a signal to employees that somebody's not going to get theirs. But you have to understand that we've been approving different departments for pay raises, and some of them are greatly competitive to other departments. And I can tell you, there's probably a ton of people in some departments that are telling these directors, hey, I'd rather go over here. They're making more money now. And we're making this about where it's coming from when we really need to be trying to make a way to make it happen. That's all I can say.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, so,
Can I make a comment?
yes, thank you.
Particularly as it applies to item number 24. Read item number 24, it's proposing to pay retroactive. And that may be a problem under the Constitution.
I have that simple too, back to October 10th, 2021.
There's a constitutional provision, it's actually Article 11, Section 3, that says neither the legislature nor any political subdivision of this state shall grant or authorize extra compensation to any public officer, agent, or contractor after the service has been rendered or the contract entered into.
Madam Chair, I hate to do this because I agree with your arguments, but that has nothing to do with the motion on the floor.
Agreed, but what I was going to say is that postponement, we would want to look
And
at
that
that.
24 is not part of that.
Okay.
No, but he's saying it needs to be. This whole agenda is messed up. That's why I voted no, but nobody else caught that and wanted to make amendments to this. So this is where we're at right now. So you want to make a motion to include 24 into this postponement until this is adjusted? Is that what you want to do, Commissioner
Let's
Larry?
add 24 to.
Can he
Commissioner
add
Sear.
24 to that?
As long as that's supported in the department.
Well, we can't pass it. It's unconstitutional.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
I don't know whether it is. I need to take a closer look
Okay.
at it.
Commissioner Sears on that move for that motion.
Okay. Commissioner Hughes, did you have something?
Yeah, could we make a motion to postpone this entire agenda?
I will second that.
Well,
I can't.
hang on.
I'm just asking if we can do
Yeah,
that.
there's some other items important. We can try to consider.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so the original motion was made by Commissioner Sear. So I suppose he needs to determine what the nature of the motion is.
So here's that as an option.
Supporting Marcia,
Right. Which?
their motion to postpone.
Oh. Those,
So
Commissioner
now
Sear, would you
five
like to add number
let's
24?
add number 24.
Marcia, are you okay
Yeah,
with
I'm
adding number 24? Okay, so now we have an additional amendment to our postponement of numbers 18, motions, number 18, 19, 20, 24, and 28. If there's no further questions, comments, or concerns. Commissioner Nash.
Is there a date to this?
We said 30 days to June 7th to the next CPS meeting.
I said June 7th.
June 7th.
June 7th, I'm sorry.
Can I hear from, the directors whether this is gonna cause any kind of issues here with them in that department?
DJ Hilson, prosecutor. I certainly appreciate the discussion and I appreciate your comments, Commissioner Nash. Yeah, I mean, I echo your concerns. We are in a very competitive market. And I have a department in this building that's ready to steal basically my entire support staff because they're paying more. And ultimately, that's not, you just don't replace those folks. That's it. It's a lot of institutional knowledge. I have 2 open positions right now, and I had a individual who just graduated from law school, had taken the bar, hadn't gotten her results back. Because I need to fill spots, I made an offer and she took a better offer because I wasn't paying enough. And so, you know, I appreciate, again, the conversation, but the real work, the trench work that's being done on a day in, day out basis, I mean, we can't get people, which means the citizens of this county suffer as a result. So, you know, obviously you guys vote, you do what you do, but understand that we are in crisis mode. There's just no doubt about it.
Thank you,
Yep.
prosecutor.
I guess the only thing I can weigh in on this, and I have number 25, but I think it was 24.
24 is what we were just talking about. We want to talk about number
Yeah, and
25.
that's, well,
That was not included in this
no,
table.
the numbers on my print off the wall.
Oh, okay. Which one are you referring to, Sheriff?
This was a salary range adjustment for the undersheriff. I think that was the one.
That
you brought up.
is number
24.
Okay, for 24. Thank you very much. You know, we've been doing our best to, you know, obviously stay fiscally responsible. And I know the undersheriff's sitting here and, you know, I believe this motion can still get through. I would like him to get this pay raise as soon as we can. The retro date was put on there only because that's when the wage reopener was for staff. And after that happened, our third in command was making $2 an hour more, and he was overtime, without overtime, than the undersheriff was. Also, we did a comparison, both by population, personnel, and jail bed space for the sheriff's, you know, offices throughout the state of Michigan. And, you know, right now today, he's $12,000 below the average is what he's making. All right, even with this raise that I'm asking for, he's still going to be $3,000 below the average. If the retro part has to come out, that's fine. I mean, we can face the motion on either or, but I really would like to get moving on this. So he can.
Do
get
you
moving
want to
first.
withdraw that retro date to make that go through today?
Well, unless it's legal.
We don't know, so it
Yeah, I
either
know,
has
but
to
if it
be
is, I'd like
postponed
to
Yeah,
have
or.
that's why we put it on.
Okay, I mean, that's the only effect we're gonna have for me on that one right
Do you
there.
want this to be, the whole motion to be postponed today as it stands, or do you want to change the date?
We're past that.
All right, I guess we're past that.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
Sheriff.
believe we are. My point on that, I wanted to get moved forward. And then as far as my other motion on there, you know, we've all used the same terms here, that we're at a critical time right now. And, you know, I sat here and listened to this commission and the idea, and I very much so appreciate Commissioner Skolnick's comments and stuff. And, you know, if the commission would like to move forward on giving these raises as it has been going on, and then we can step forward on this with the marijuana money for my motion, I think we got a good fit for everything. So thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Any other questions, comments, concerns from any of the commissioners? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to ask for a roll call vote.
Could I hear with the motion?
I'm sorry, yes, I'm going to repeat that.
Thank you
We are
very much.
going to take a roll call vote on postponing the motions of 18, 19, 20, 24, and 28.
Madam Chair. May I make another comment, please?
Okay, Commissioner Nash.
I think we really need to seriously think about this before we cast this vote. This time period is going to be a time where people are going to really be having some different feelings about what we're doing here on this board. And I don't know if we know how serious this is right now, but it is. So we got to take off our political hats and start really thinking how this is going to make individuals feel. There's a
Okay.
lot of questions already about what we're doing up here. And this is, I think, a case of making it really worse.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash.
Madam
Okay,
Chair,
Commissioner Skolnick.
if we're gonna vote on this, can we vote on them separately? Do we have
This is a motion that was made. I'm going to proceed. Thank you for your comments. We are going to make a decision and a roll call vote on postponing motions 18, 19, 20, 24, and 28 until the next Courts and Public Safety meeting, which is June 7th. May I have a roll call, please?
Yeah, can I just interrupt real quick? Because I think, let me look, I think there's a provision under the rules to separate those questions if it's requested.
Don't have to.
Section 7. It's actually Rule 6, Section 7. Says a division of any motion shall be made when so requested by any member of the board, provided however such division shall be so distinct that one part being taken away, the other will remain as an entire motion or decision. A request by a board member for division of a question is an incidental motion, normally not debatable. The motion may not be reconsidered. It can, however, be amended. If the subjects differ, the question must be divided upon the sole request of the commissioner. If the topics relate but can stand alone, the question will be divided on a regular motion in a simple majority vote.
I'll support that motion.
So we have 3 motions under one motion.
Wait a minute, which motion are you supporting?
His request,
Oh,
you can't make a request.
I was
You just
requesting
read
that
the board
we
rules.
vote on the same items, and we just do separate votes, that's all. And according
Exactly.
to that, I can request that, and it needs to be done.
Well, then there's no point in having the motion to postpone any of them if we're voting on them separately anyway.
Well, it would be
You're wrong.
a motion to postpone each
First item.
one individually.
Okay, all right, so we're going to amend this one more time. We are going to vote on these individually, 18, 19, 20, 24, and 28, to postpone each of them. So we'll do this 5 times individually. So I'll have 5 roll call votes for 18, 19, 20, 24, and 28 to postpone to June 7th to the next Courts and Public Safety meeting. May I have a roll call, please? Thank you.
On number 18, Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Steer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
And this is to postpone?
Correct.
All of these motions are to postpone.
Okay. Yes, I need to.
and Commissioner Pago.
Yes, and that motion passes. Number 8, motion 18 is postponed to June 7th. May I have a motion, I'm sorry, a roll call vote for number 19 to postpone to June 7th, please?
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
No.
Commissioner Steer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
No.
Chairman Skolnick,
No.
Commissioner Pago.
Yes. And that motion passes. No, motion 19 will return on June 7th at the next Courts and Public Safety meeting. May I have a roll call vote on postponing motion number 20 to the next Courts and Public Safety on June 7th, please?
Commissioner Brown,
No.
Commissioner Steer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Laring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
No.
Chairman Skolnick,
No.
Commissioner Wilkins,
No.
Commissioner Pego.
Yes.
5-4 yes.
So that motion also passes. We are postponing motion number 20 until June 7th, the next Sports and Public Safety meeting. May I have a roll call vote for motion number 24 to postpone motion 24 until the next Sports and Public Safety meeting on June 7th, please?
Commissioner Steer,
Yes.
Commissioner Harvey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Waring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
No.
Commissioner Skolnick,
No.
Commissioner Wilkins,
No.
Commissioner Brown,
No.
Commissioner Harvey Wright,
No.
Commissioner Pego.
Yes. And that motion fails. So we are going to have a roll call vote on motion number 28 to postpone until the next Sports and Public Safety meeting on June 7th. Can you roll call, please?
Commissioner Harvey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Waring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Which one are we on?
28.
No.
Chairman Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Steer,
Yes.
Commissioner Pego.
Yes, and that motion is postponed until June 7th. Okay, so we are,
Madam Chair, I do have a question.
yes,
We passed the motion for the pay grade retroactive to October 10th, 21.
No.
no, we only, the only thing that happened was we're not postponing it. We'll still have it come up on the
Okay, still on
agenda.
the agenda. Okay,
We will still discuss it and have opportunities to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
So, on the agenda for today, motion 18, 19, 20, and 28 are postponed until June 7th. I'll give you one moment to catch up my notes here. Okay, we are going to start today with items for consideration then. EPS 22/05-21, Sheriff Michael Poland asking to move to approve the one-year extension of the agreement for the partnership in the neighborhood safety program between Eggleston Township, the Muskegon County Sheriff, and the Board of Commissioners, with the county share of the cost being 50% of $73,848.50, and authorize the board chair and sheriff to sign the contract. So
Madam
moved.
Chair,
I
I was just gonna make a point that we're missing number 21. That's also the same thing. Could we do 21, 22, and 23 inclusively together?
No, I'm gonna do these separate. Thank you, though.
But
Okay,
we missed 21. We went to 22.
no, I just read 21.
21.
You just read 21.
Oh, I thought she went to 20.
I read 21 for Eggleston Township. Did everyone else hear me read 21 to Eggleston
Yes.
Township? Okay. So I had a motion in support from, I missed it. It was,
We didn't have support.
Me?
it was, yes,
Yeah.
Commissioner Hobie Wright. Who was the one that motioned it?
Commissioner Harvey Wright motion for it.
Do we have a support for this? Yes or no?
Tim just. did
You have,
support.
you're supporting this. Okay, so I have a motion of support from Commissioner Hobie Wright and Commissioner Sear. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns on CPS 22/05-21?
I have a question, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner Hughes.
On this, are there only 3 municipalities that participate in this?
This motion that's in front of us is regarding Eggleston Township, but I'll let the sheriff speak to that.
Okay, yeah, would you please?
That is correct.
Why aren't the other ones, they don't want to, or? there's
You know,
no-
I've made the rounds, you know, I have sitting there every year from time to time, talking, and I remember, where Cedar Creek Township, it's such a rural area, they did pass a fire village one time, which has issued maybe like public safety village, so they could fund something for that, but, you know, we can ask and continue to ask, but they had such a large wooded area, and what it was, they just didn't think.
I appreciate,
Yeah.
thank you. I just was
there's
surprised that
still-
more people will
there's-
take advantage of this. Thank you.
Correct, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, comments, or concerns regarding 21 Eggleston Township PINS agreement? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Chair Skolnick,
Bob, you're up, buddy.
Are you voting yes or no for 21?
I
Just say yes.
was thinking about this. Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Seer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Loring,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago.
No. Okay, and moving on to CPS 22/05-22, Sheriff Michael Pollan asking to move to approve the one-year extension of the agreement for the partnership and neighborhood safety program between Laketon Township, the Muskegon County Sheriff, and the Board of Commissioners, with the county share of the cost being 50% or $59,012.50, and authorize the board chair and the sheriff to sign the document.
Support.
I have a motion
Support.
from Commissioner Brown and a support from Commissioner Nash. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
I do.
Commissioner Hughes.
I guess I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Where's this money coming from?
That's a good question.
50% comes from the township and 50 we budget for this each year. Out of
The sheriff's department, the sheriff's department budget,
General fund.
General fund, through our budget, which we budget, so that's.
but you budgeted for that, so it's coming out of your budget,
Yes, ma'am.
coming out of the sheriff's department budget.
The 50%, yes.
So,
Just
can I
wanted to make
make
sure.
a comment? Yeah.
Commissioner Brown.
Yeah, living in Laketon Township and talking to Township Supervisor and everybody there, is a great program. Thank you. And again, half comes out of the sheriff's budget and half comes out of the Laketon Township. So just want to, I'm sure everybody's aware of, and it's a good program.
Also be
I
aware
agree
if you
with
call
Commissioner
911,
Hughes. I wish we could
sheriff's
get more people involved in doing the same thing.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? I have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Wilkins? Oh, Commissioner Wilkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Seer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright?
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes?
Yes,
Commissioner Loring?
Yes.
Commissioner Nash?
Yes.
Chair Spolnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Pago?
No. Okay, moving on to CPS 22/05-23, Sheriff Michael Pollan asking to move to approve the one-year extension of the agreement for the partnership and neighborhood safety program between Freeland Township, the Muskegon County Sheriff, and the Board of Commissioners, with the county share of the cost being 50% or $63,917, and authorize the board chair and sheriff to sign the document.
So moved.
Support.
I have motion and support from Commissioner Hovey Wright and Commissioner Brown. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Commissioner Hughes?
no,
No, that was not. Are you sure?
by the time we got to the third one, I got it.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Okay. I just like to make a comment. I don't normally do this being the chair, but we dial 911, there's gonna be law enforcement coming, so I don't support these programs. That's my opinion and stance on it. So anyhow, I'll have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Seer?
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright?
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes?
Yes,
Commissioner Loring?
Yes.
Commissioner Nash?
Yes.
Chair Spolnick?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Pago?
No. And moving on to CPS 22/05-24, Sheriff Michael Pollan asking to move to approve the salary range adjustment for the undersheriff position X92001 from pay table grade NX-00380 to NX-00430, and place the incumbent at step 4 effective 10/20/21. Now that is only the header of this motion. We do have the issue of the body of this motion that is asking for it to be retroactive from October 2021. So we do need discussion.
I'll make a motion that this be effective today.
So we have a motion.
Yeah, not that.
I missed what you said, Mark.
Full board, not today.
Well, but I'm making the
No,
motion.
she's making a motion to make it effective today's date instead of
Yeah,
October.
not October of 2021.
So she's changing.
But it should be full board's date.
Next week.
Okay,
Next.
that's fine. Full board state.
To next week, okay, which is, what's that date, Kathy? Well, today's the 10th, so it'll be the 17th.
That way that would
Up
eliminate any,
to May 17th, 2022. Okay,
would eliminate any possibility that we're.
perfect. Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Commissioner Hughes and a second from Commissioner Brown for CPS 22/05-24 to move to approve the salary range adjustment for the undersheriff position X92001 from pay table grade NX-00380 to NX-00430, and place income at step 4 effective May 17th, 2022. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? Commissioner Nash?
I'm just wondering if it's possible that we eliminate this date, but at the same time, we can give him a bonus for that amount to cover the amount that he's, and consider it as a bonus rather than a retro pay, because I think the point is that he's been getting paid less than his understaff for the time being, and we want to find a way to rectify that. So would a bonus be more?
Probably a
appropriate?
separate motion later.
Well, I'll have to look. You have the constitutional provision which prevents extra compensation retroactively, right?
Correct.
But then you've got other programs like ARPA funds that could be used for hazard pay during COVID, right? So there are all these other issues out there that may be available, but I've got to look. It's not like I know the answer off the top of my head, except for the constitutional provision. And the retroactive compensation is a problem under the Michigan Constitution.
So can we use ARPA funds?
Would it be something later that we bring back?
Okay.
That's a
Can we get
separate
a couple
motion
of-
later. Is there any other questions, comments? or
I'm just
concerns?
wondering if we can get a couple of options sent to us by email so we can look those over.
Definitely.
Good idea.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? None? Okay, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Seer,
No.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Vice
Oh.
Chair,
That's with May 17th, right?
Correct.
yes, yeah, okay. Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry,
No.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Chair Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago,
Yes. And that motion passes. Congratulations. Okay, so moving on to CPS 22/05-25, Sheriff Michael Pollan asking to move to approve the sheriff's office applying for and accepting the Michigan First Responder Training Grant in the amount of $79,874 and adjust the revenue and expenses budget accordingly with no impact to the general fund.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion of support from Commissioner Nash and Commissioner Hughes. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns? No? All right, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Chair Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins, Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Seer,
Yes.
Commissioner Pago.
Yes, and that motion passes. Moving on to CPS 22/05-26, Sheriff Michael Pollan asking to move to approve the sheriff's office to seek competitive solicitations to the purchasing office for the purchase and installation costs of 1 industrial commercial laundry machine and 3 industrial commercial dryers, and to sell or dispose of the existing machines in a manner most advantageous to the county.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion of support from Commissioner Nash and Commissioner Seer. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Commissioner Skolnick?
I can't, if the sheriff is still here, or the undersheriff.
Sheriff's here and under sheriff's here.
Okay, I'm just curious, do these machines still work?
Actually, the washer was getting worked on today. The problem we're having with the dryers is that they're almost burning the blankets is what they're doing to them. Now, we opened a new facility in 15, but we brought over used equipment from the old jail, and I believe it was the washer was brought from the old jail, and the 3 dryers we purchased used. So none of these were new equipment.
So the washer, I'm just curious, I'm not arguing with that, I'm just
No.
curious, was that washer was not new when we built the jail?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
none of these items.
All right, thanks, that's all I knew.
I was hoping he was gonna volunteer to come hand wash everything.
I thought he was gonna offer to buy them.
Me too. Put him in his house.
Take them down the lake.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Moving on to CPS 22/05-27, Sheriff Michael Pollan asking to move to approve the sheriff's office to purchase a fingerprint machine from ID Networks at an estimated price of $20,000, utilizing surplus fiscal year 21 funds, and adjust the budget accordingly.
So moved. Support.
We have a motion of support from Commissioner Nash and Commissioner Brown. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
I do have a question, Madam
Commissioner
Chair.
Hughes?
I've never heard us having surplus funds. So I was kind of wondering where those are coming from.
I thought that was your idea.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Okay, but where are they coming from?
It's the funding that's left over. from the
Sheriff?
previous year.
Okay, okay.
Last year.
Now, do you have a fingerprint machine?
We have one with the software, what the state has, it's not supported by.
Oh, yeah.
So it's basically the software for now. This was originally one of our capital improvement requests at the beginning of the year, but at the time,
Okay.
short of the general fund, we didn't have the budgeting source.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, and ask for a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Lowry,
Yes.
Commissioner Nash,
Yes.
Chair Skolnick,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Seer,
Yes.
Commissioner Hovey Wright,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hughes,
Yes,
Commissioner Pagos.
Yes, and that motion passes. And 28 is postponed. Is there any unfinished business to come before this board? Commissioner Hughes?
I do have some unfinished business from Mike Comier. Would you look into the options that we have available to us with the undersheriff position?
Send an email right now.
Thank you very much, appreciate that.
Any other unfinished business? Any other unfinished business? None? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Is there any new business to come before this committee today? Commissioner Nash?
I just wanted to make sure everyone had got a copy of the resolution that we wanted to propose for Dr. Nesberry. And thankful to the staff for putting this together.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that we can put this on the Community Development Strategic Planning Committee to vote on. That way, if anybody has any more information or want to update this in any way before that meeting, we can do that.
Is this an item on our agenda today?
It's not on any agenda.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I said I want to move it to Community Development Street Plan. It's more
Oh,
of
gotcha.
an
Next
appropriate committee to
Thursday,
be on
okay.
anyway.
Thank you.
But just wanted everybody to see that, what we put together. And,
Can I get a hard copy?
Should
of
be in
it?
here.
You should have
Okay.
it in my packet. Okay, thank you.
What I want to add to that is, it's, since we had the community development at 12, we fall on the community development at the full board on the 17th.
So the 12th and the
just go through
17th.
So we've already had it. You want this done, I think, you don't want to wait a month.
On the 12th
No.
and then the 17th is what he's proposing.
So
Thursday.
Thursday and then the following Tuesday. right?
No, we've already had it last Thursday.
What's this?
This
Full
Thursday.
board.
It's this
We're talking about
Thursday.
Full board
So,
Thursday.
we're going to
Maybe on
Thursday, we're rolling
transportation.
down.
Or this Thursday.
All right, to 12.
I don't
Correct,
have.
we'll
it
add it to
either,
the 12th.
so that's why-
No, I
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair, when we add on the agenda right now?
I'm sorry,
Is this new business? or-
we are not adding it. He was just mentioning
No,
it.
I'm asking where we're at. on
That was
the
new.
But we are in new business.
So, Commissioner Nash, I have a question about your resolution. If-
Yes, sir.
I know it's not
I need it.
issue for debate today, but I have a problem with this, and I don't know how to communicate that with you. If we do it here, or are you looking for another, how do you want to coordinate? If instead of bringing it up at full board, how would you like to communicate it up?
Oh, are you talking about with what is written and how it's written?
Yes.
Oh, we can do that, communicate
Between
through
themselves.
Kathy, and then we can share that with the commissioners and, we can just kind of debate that as we go.
All right. So if not today, you don't want to get into.
No, I'd rather not do it in public.
Okay, good.
Appreciate it.
What?
Thanks for asking.
Any other new business? Any other items of new business? No? Okay, is there any public comment? Are you raising your hand, Marcia?
No.
Okay, is there any public comment? Sheriff?
Thank you. First off, I just want to thank you guys for the support on the motions as we move forward. I apologize for not paying attention to the Ways and Means minutes, or I would have gotten a public comment earlier. During our American Rescue Plan presentation, we had showed you guys some video of guards being assaulted and some inmates falling off the tiers and some of them jumping off the tiers. And the request was for security screening on the upper mezzanines that we have there. I know that the security screening does fit a category that fits in with what's gonna happen on the 6th floor and the screen on the outside of the building. And I understand these are things that need to be done. But as we continue to move forward with the American Rescue Plan dollars, I would please ask that you strongly consider using those dollars so we can get this screen put up here. So we don't have to continually see these type of incidents staffing, and we'll make it a much safer environment for staff inside the facility. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any public comment? We have 2 minutes set aside for anybody who's wanting to make public comment. State your name and your location. No public comment. Any final board comments? Any final board comments? Yes, Commissioner Hobie, right?
Yeah, I would just like to state my agreement with Commissioner Nash and Skolnick about, we have to find a way to make it work to pay these increases. It's just the process. I thought we needed to address it, the proposals with more information at a work session, and then figure out what we need to get from someone else.
Hi,
Commissioner Hughes?
you know, Sheriff, I was very disappointed in the flyer that you sent out to us because it was several years old. I'd like to see some new updates on what the cost and what wages are and some different things. I mean, in here, there were just a lot of things that seemed like they were way outdated.
Are you making a motion for a new? No, sorry.
Yeah, I'd like to see a brand new one with the recommendations from the state and all of that. These are old and they're not, not up to date. And I mean, you got 2019, you got 4,000 people in the jail. 2021, you got 3,000, but the money it just doesn't add up correctly.
Well, Commissioner Hughes, I understand the confusion on that, and part of that had to do while I was at our motion review. I didn't even get to tab 3 on the explanation for what was going on in these. And as Commissioner Hobie was leaving, I had expressed to her that the purpose of this was to create conversation. All of these documents in here, short of the summaries, we put together a 3-year summary page on the end for you to see. And basically, it was a year before COVID that year. So you can see really what was going on. Well, but the important thing on there is you can see that though some of the calls of service went down, we investigated more crimes, we handled more. So there's still work going on, and that's really what I wanted you to understand, okay? And the intent was to create conversation. We can look at the comparisons that are on there from the 10 or 9 other sheriff's offices in the state of Michigan that meet our comparable. We have the 8th largest jail in the state of Michigan. And when we look at those numbers on there, now, even the wages, all right, and this because we just had our wage reopener, the wages are wrong. Not correct for the sheriff's office, but everything else is correct for the numbers that are going on, okay? I can run through this. We take in more inmates than anybody else. We take more calls than anybody else. We have less staff than everybody else, all right, on the percentages that go from there. And that's what's
Nice
on
job.
there. And I want you to understand that, okay? And as far as the original staffing proposal, those of you that were here in you were given that presentation, okay? We talked about
I
that.
think it's time to have another one
Well,
with current figures.
well, but the thing is what it brings us, the facility hasn't changed. When the facility was built, right, CGL said we needed 59 full-time deputies, right? 59 full-time deputies at that time. The amount of space hasn't changed. Right, so
But
those
it looks
numbers
like
are
in
not
here, the
changing.
amount of people has gone down dramatically.
And it's on its way back up. That's why this is the perfect time for us to get these.
I want to see
additional
some figures.
staff.
I want to see some to-date figures.
Of which though?
I want to see how many people are coming in. I want to see how many people, are staying, how long they're staying. I want to see that kind of stuff. Don't give me a thing that says, somebody tried to hit you with a filed down spoon when one of your guys probably left the spoon in there. How did that spoon get in there with the guy?
Okay, this is a little bit
I'm
irrelevant.
just saying,
I'm gonna move on. Any other
give me-
final board
give me
comments?
facts.
Any other final board
Can
comments?
you
From
say
Anyone on the
a
board?
work session?
Any final board comments? Is there any final board comments? Commissioner Nash?
I just wanted to kind of reiterate a little bit, and I'm not pointing out anything or anybody in particular, but I think that, and I have to give Sheriff the credit, because I believe we got at least 1, maybe 2 emails about his proposal and to contact him regarding any concerns that we had whatsoever. So, it's kind of disheartening to see, how we conduct our board meeting, because this information goes right back to the staff. I mean, they're on Zoom, they're on, they're hearing it from other people. And so we kill the morale by some of the things that we say. And we don't really realize that, but I'm telling you, I hear from people all the time that are talking about what happened and what they didn't like and how it's really demoralizing their morale as far as these jobs and being here. So we have to realize everything we say is having an impact on our employees, and it'll behoove us to study this stuff ahead of time and talk to the sheriff and talk to the prosecutor and talk to any department and get this stuff straightened out so we can have a healthy discussion up here and make some decisions without theatrics.
Thank you, Commissioner Nash. Any other final board comments?
I would like to have a work session on this so that we can get some more information and ask some questions. Thank you.
Any other final board comments? Okay, seeing none, we're adjourned.
Do you have it? You can have it.
I do. I did not have one in my
Okay,
packet.
yeah, it's, I'll look at it.
Thank you, Sarah. Where's what going?
Oh, well, no, her, no, the movie.
Are you on vacation? I just got back. I just got back last week.
I thought you were gone next week.
Am I gone next week? I don't know.
You know, last week. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No, never changed.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go again, but my husband.
He's had enough of
He's
everybody.
got, well, I spent too much money, so.
Isn't that right? I know, so
You better sell some more
So
cars.
our screen here froze, but I was texting Mark Hansen at IT and he said that his end, everything's good. So we should be okay.
What